I've got a two-part question. The first part is I got divorced in 2008, and my ex-wife and my two kids moved back to Mississippi. My question is, my son, who is 12, wants to move over here with me. What is the age that someone will allow their child to live with them? And my second question is, how long do I pay child support? Because my daughter's 16 and she'll be graduating high school soon. So those are my two questions.
Okay. To answer your question, how long do you let me answer the last question first. The child support, the age of majority in the state of Alabama is age 19, so child support would go to the age of 19. And I forget the first question.
He was talking about his son is 12 and living in Mississippi. And
at what age?
If he, I think what Mark's asking is, when can a child ask to live with another parent, if at all?
There's no set age in Alabama where a child just can determine where the child goes. If that was the law in Alabama, can you imagine that a child would say on one day, I'm gonna live with Daddy because Daddy promised me to buy me a boat, and the next day, you know, Mama, I'm gonna live with my mama because my mama is gonna let me eat popsicles every afternoon. So there's no such thing as the child gets to determine that. But now, as a practical standpoint, as a child gets older in age and becomes more mature, the judge will generally give that age a little more credence the older the child gets. But there's no magic age on that.
And when you're trying to change a custody situation, what is it the court looks to? What's the standard the court uses to try to decide whether it's a good idea or a bad idea to change custody?
Well, there's two standards. There's the McLendon standard and there's the Couch standard. The Couch standard says it's in the best interest to live with Mama or Daddy. Mm-hmm. Okay. The Couch standard is decided on the initial divorce.
Okay.
Okay. The McLendon standard is applied when custody is already vested in one person. And when custody is already vested in one person and you're trying to change that, it's a much higher standard. It's almost impossible to meet that standard once custody is vested.
So, Tim, when you're going through this difficult process of divorce, it is really important to make sure you get adequate protection and know your rights are protected, and make sure you get it right the first time, it sounds like.
Kirby, it's absolutely important that when you get initial divorce, or you do it right the first time, because you don't get any redos. You got to get it right the first time, because if you try to modify it later on, it's much more difficult and it's much more expensive and it's much cheaper and it's much easier to do it right the first time.